All right, so to my dear friend Josephine, I've known her a couple of years now. Lovely soul. So this one, how do I do this? This is really a lot of things kind of clumped together. This is kind of a toughie, a lot going on. She, like a lot of people, have been through a lot, so of course there's multiple things here. See if I can kind of group them together a bit. First of all, synchronicity that you were number 8, and what you told me about this, seeing the signs of 8, well, that's great. That shows you're vibrating and you're picking up things. But with synchronicities, I wouldn't take it too much seriously. It's fun. Think of it as fun. Fun signs. But I think some of us get a little too, like, the signs are everywhere, but honestly, I kind of ignore them, a lot of them now. Not purposely, but I mean, the signs honestly are endlessly. So if you're just focusing on just signs, I mean, life's more about living than just following all the signs. Otherwise, what are we, just a slave to the signs? So my point first with the signs is have fun with synchronicities, but don't see it as I need to follow the map, like it's a map and I'm going to miss something and I need... Yeah, no, don't take it too seriously. But when you see them, great, and revel and enjoy them, and definitely the fact that all these 8s popped up and then tonight 8, definitely a wonderful sign. Definitely this video was meant to be made. You got it right, I agree. And that's it, let it go. There's no reason to go too much more into the number 8s. If you see them, great, but it's not the ultimate key to the treasure. Don't think of it in those ways. It's just when you see 8s, great. When you see synchronicities, great. Be open to them, but don't worry too much about it. A lot of times people are going through so much that they get in a spot where there's just so much going on that they don't even know what to do, or they don't even know what the problem is, and there seems to be multiple problems, and it just gets complicated, and it sounds a bit complicated. It sounds reasonable, don't get me wrong, but a lot of different things, and to me, this is just me, but to me it sounds like the brain, the mind. I have to say, I kind of spotting the culprit, and we all have that culprit in there. So I would say, when you're going through a lot, quiet that mind down, because that mind, first of all, is the one that causes suffering. Perception is everything. Perception is everything. Suffering is of our own creation. And the mind will keep telling you, but it's everything else, it's everybody else, it's all these things happening to you. Nothing's happening to you. Life is just happening. And it's a wonderful ballet, and you're creating it, and your perception is creating it. So you want to get out of, you definitely want to check yourself if you're in a victim mentality. I'm not saying you are, but you should definitely want to check that. If you feel life's happening to you, that's a victim mentality. Life is not happening to me. Life is not happening to me. I am the master of my own experience. You are the master of your own experience. Yes, things happen in my life. Not always things I want at the time, or at least I don't think I want. But definitely we want to check ourselves. If we're feeling like life is just happening and all these things, that's victim mentality. And so you're creating that if that's what you're running it. So you want to put an end to that, because otherwise, and that's the mind. You are no victim. You're an amazing being. Josephine, you're an amazing human being. Your love and compassion for others blows my mind. It really does. You're incredible. But try not to get so wrapped up in the outer world. Try not to get so wrapped up in what other people are doing and thinking and what's happening in life. Try and definitely stop racking your brain. The brain is what causes the suffering in the first place. And the brain will keep promising us, the mind will keep promising it has the answers, and it never does. It doesn't have the answers. It just spins us. It spins us and spins us and spins us. The answers always come from the heart. So, whether even, you mentioned depression, you weren't sure if it's depression, you don't think it is, but even depression, we tend to put too much weight on that word, depression. It's just another label. All these labels. What we go through is natural. It's all part of the process. So don't worry about labels either. Don't worry about whether you're depressed or not, whatever. You're just going through what you're going through. There's no mistakes. And you're doing amazing. And you can't make a mistake. So, yeah, there was a lot in this questions within this question, really, but yeah, I have to say all of it kind of smells of the mind. The mind. You're not going to think it through. You're not going to do it. You'd be the first human being, yeah, we can problem solve, but honestly, the whole problem is that we think there's a problem. There's no problem. That's the dilemma. That's the whole thing right from the start. It's a rigged game. When the brain sits there and goes, I'm just going to make something up. What am I going to do with my relationship? This is a real problem. Well, guess what? Boom, it is now. So now the brain's racing with details and twisting things, and it's doing all this crazy stuff and spinning us in circles and feeding its perception and doing all these things based on the fact, on a false premise from the start that there's a problem. There's no problem. There aren't no problems. They're just experiences. Life, death, struggle. They can be tough, but they're gifts. It's all a gift. We're the most blessed beings in the universe. In the most blessed place, planet Ocean. And what we go through is for a reason. And what we experience, we ask for, and we go through. There's a reason for it. So acceptance, embracing, centering. There's so many things you can do, but I think in this case, when so much is weighing on you, and there does seem to be a lot of thought, and there does seem to be some kind of victim mentality, on some level. Again, the mind. I see you, mind. I know, because I got a version of it. It's a mild version, but it's pretty quiet, but it gets going in my ear. I'm not perfect. Sometimes, my mind's pretty quiet for the most part compared to most. I'm blessed that way, and it's also progressed over time, but don't think my mind doesn't go whispering in my ear and saying shit. Sometimes it does. But luckily, there's no victim mentality. I let that go back in high school in my suicide days. So I haven't been a victim in decades. So check your status first. Really check it. Do you think life's happening to you? Do you think bad things are happening to you? Do you think you have bad luck? Do you think life is so tough? Again, that's all victim mentality, and it's the brain creating that, and it's the brain that's going to tell you it's going to try to figure it out. No, it won't. And it's that mentality that's making you miss all the amazing things. I'm not saying you don't see the wonderful things in life, but by default, you'll miss so much magic. We miss all these things in our daily lives. This magic is everywhere. All these endless buffet of gifts. We miss them because we're focusing on what we perceive as a problem. So the person sitting in a comfortable chair with a nice cup of yummy tea that's full of vibrant colors and beautiful artwork, after just listening to a beautiful song, having a nice laugh with a friend, but instead of enjoying all that, getting worked up over a problem. So they missed it. They weren't in the now. They didn't. So my advice to you is first check your status, your mental status, if it's victim mentality. And you might want to really look at that because it doesn't serve you. And it's an illusion because you're not a victim. You're a powerful being who's creating their own perception. And like I always say, quiet the mind. Center yourself. I know for a fact you do so much for everybody else. So much. Might even put Mother Teresa to shame. You do so much, and it's so wonderful. But you gotta do for you first. If you're suffering, you're of less use to the world. And you're not really living your life. So I guess the question I would say is, are you ready to stop suffering? Are you ready to stop feeding any part of you that's still a victim? Are you ready to stop swimming in the mind? Are you ready to change your perception? Because if you change your perception, you change your experience. You are the master of your own experience. I know, I keep saying it over and over again, and I'll say it to probably my last words. I'll be on my deathbed. I hear, what's he saying? You are the master of your own experience. That'd be my last words. Maybe I'll put it on my tombstone. Yeah, you are the master of your own experience. And then maybe underneath I'll put, I chose this. So, I hope I didn't come too harsh on you. You're an amazing being, you know. It's hard to address you personally without getting a little personal, so I hope I didn't upset you, or hit some nerves, but you did ask for this, and the signs brought you. The number 8 wanted you to do this, so check the victim mentality. Check it. And like all of us, a choice has to be made. Choose self-love and self-fulfillment. Choose to be the master of your own experience. And the best tools to do that are to hold off on everybody else for a while and focus on you. Just do things for you for a while until you really come out of it. Spoil yourself. Spoil yourself in heart, in mind, in body. Spoil yourself. Do things you love. Do things that are a real token of love to yourself. Do things that feed yourself, that make you happy. You aren't here to solve all our problems. You're not. Yes, you're here to help. We're here to help each other. But you're here to experience life. You're not here to fix the world. You're here to experience it and to be part of the co-creation. So also get out of that mentality, if you can, of that I'm here and I got to help everybody. No, that's not why you're here. It's just part of why you're here. And even that part, you will do much better if you're just totally happy and fulfilled. And so focus on that. Focus on being happy. Ground yourself in nature. Go out in nature all the time. Do things you love. Go jump on a bed. Go be silly. Whatever it is you like, that you used to like or you still like, do it. Spoil yourself with experience. That's what life is for. And get out of the mind. Ground yourself and meditate or do anything that clears the thoughts, whether it's a sport or a physical activity or meditation or walking in nature, taking a bath, whatever it is that naturally you find your brain just kind of quiets down, do that a lot. Keep quieting that brain. Keep filling your heart. Think of it as refueling. And as you do that, you'll come back in a more centered place and you'll be able to see more anyways what you're doing. You'll more see, oh yeah, I am a victim, because you'll be more, when you're in the thick of things with that, of the mind and of stress and all that, it's hard to see. But when you pull back and you fill yourself in self-love, you can come back and you'll be more balanced. You'll be in a more better place to look at it with a little more detachment and then go, yeah, okay. And you'll be able better to make decisions and you'll move forward better in your own progression of your own spiritual journey. And thus, you'll have an easier time in the world and you'll be even more of service because you won't be, suffering basically. And you'll be able to accept things more and you'll be more in tune with things. And when things happen, you'll be more able to accept them and embrace them, and it won't take them so hard, so heavy. So be good to yourself. Get out of here. It's important. Get out of here. Get out of there. Get out! It's a tool, and you will use that tool, but don't let the tool run the show. Get into the heart. Get into yourself. Spoil yourself. You deserve it. That's what you're here for. Enjoy. Life's too short. It's amazing. Enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And the rest will work itself out. It really will. It always comes down to self-love. Everything always does. You really choose to be happy and love yourself truly and forgive yourself and love yourself. Everything else just naturally works out. It really does. You'll just naturally start to progress spiritually. You'll start to be less in the mind. You'll start to catch it when it's being tricky. You'll start to forgive naturally. You'll start to accept naturally. You'll start to see the magic naturally. All these things will unfold. But self-love and self-love, that's first order business. Because someone that's stressing and 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 giving and stressing needs to do more self-loving. Because, well, look at me, I do a lot, even, a lot for people, and that's my purpose. But I will never do it to the point where I'm so stressed and I'm not happy. No way, I stop. If it gets to that, even close to that point, I stop naturally. I don't even have to debate it. I'll give and give and give to ridiculous lengths, compared to most, but as soon as it starts to feel like it's not feeling good, guess what? I hold off. I stop and I pull back and I fuel up. And it's natural. So get into the self-love. Focus on you. The only one who needs your help right now is you. And the way to help yourself is to love yourself. We all love you, but we need you to love you completely and wholly, to the point where you won't beat yourself up, and you won't stress, and you won't let the mind play, and you won't feel any kind of victim mentality, or you won't feel any responsibility for everybody else. All these things will work themselves out, but you gotta fuel up. You gotta fuel up, and not just a little bit. Make it your mission. Make it your primary mission right now. And when you really start to evolve in that direction, believe me, you'll be able to step back into the role you've chosen, like many of us, which is to be of service, which is wonderful, and you will do so with so much less stress and so much more conviction, and you'll just be better at it even. So I guess what I'm saying about all of this is self-love first. Self-love, and get out of the mind. Get out of the mind. There's nothing to be solved. It's just things to be accepted and experienced. There's no problems. Let go of all those chains. Just let them go. Let it all go. And love yourself. Love yourself, and you'll see what happens.